Okay, so let's go through the testosterone maxing checklist, and I've organized this in things that you just need to do one time and things that you need to do every day. So let's go over the one time checklist, and I'll just yap about how to do them all or whatever, and then we'll go through the daily one afterwards. So here's the things that you need to do just one time to get like a huge difference in your testosterone levels. Do these once right now as soon as possible, and then you don't have to think about them again. Number one, decide on your values about injecting testosterone. If you're completely against it, okay, sweet, skip forward by like two minutes whilst I explain it. But like if you are kind of okay with it, think about what your own values are, what kind of protocol potentially you might go with. Okay, I told you the mindset for me personally was like I wanted something which wasn't high level like the bodybuilders taking 600 milligrams, 400, whatever. So I only took like 150 when I first started off. And for my values, I thought for a while that like, oh yeah, this like it actually, I don't give a shit what people online say. Like it actually fits my values. I'd rather take any kind of pain that I'd get from this, like side effects, rather than the side effects of low testosterone. That was my own values, and I've stuck to it, even if people want to try and hate or whatever. And so it's important. You should just try this yourself. You should maybe just journal right now and just think, forget everyone else's opinions. I would say with this, don't even post about it in Library of Adonis, just because when other people give their opinions, it's very easy for you, especially before you really know about something, to then break your frame, and then you don't hold the same mindset anymore. But this is why I said to you in the previous module, I'm so happy that when I was taking testosterone, I waited so long to speak on it, because when then everyone started to hate and say like, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this, I was able to look at it from a place of quite a lot of experience, like about a year of taking it, that then I could see, wait, that's fucking bullshit. That's not happened. That's bullshit. You're just being over dramatic. It's not like that. Here's my mindset, whatever. If I started taking it and then announced it straight away, that even like, I like to believe I'm pretty strong-willed kind of person, I probably would have broken frame, never mind if I sort of spoke about it before I started taking it. So with this, I'd say even inside of Library of Adonis, don't post about what your values are, because people will challenge you, because someone else's values will be like, no, that's crazy. Just do it yourself, do this, whatever. So this is your own values, and don't let anyone kind of like change your opinion. Rather, go and get the facts from people who are actually on this. Go and, research it properly, not just from ChatGPT or from like the LGBT fucking doctors who, like I said in the previous module, would give testosterone to a woman, but to you it's crazy, whatever. So just think about your own values. Maybe this is a 1 hour block of journaling. You don't really need to like actually go and do it right now, but just get to the point where you've journaled a lot, and basically you're just writing like, would I take it? Why would I take it? What is it that I want from it? What benefit am I hoping to get? Why would I take it? When would I take it? Do I have any kind of prerequisites first in my mind? And why would I take it? Why do I disagree with the people who say don't take it? Or you might end up thinking, okay, I definitely don't want to. For me, it's just not it. I hate needles and syringes. I couldn't imagine doing that for the rest of my life. I just like, for me, I need to stay natural because I'm competing in this thing where I get like blood tested or something. If that's your values, then by all means go ahead and do that, right? But just do this for the next like hour or so and have it very clear. What I would say to you is, being somewhere in the middle is the bullshit, because if you are like 100%, I'm going to take testosterone, just probably not right now, but 100% I'm going to take it when I'm like 30, or when I've done this thing first, or when I've done this, whatever. Then that's like, you're kind of relaxed because you don't think about it again. If you say 100% I'm not going to take it because, it's just not for me, then you're also relaxed, and you're also just like, it's free mental bandwidth in your mind has just been relieved. If you're somewhere in the middle, that's when decisions like this just get really tiring. It feels like a full-time job. You know how a lot of guys are trying to figure out like which business to go for or whatever. It feels like a full-time job just debating ideas in your mind. So I would rather that over the next hour, it's not so much that you have to do all the research, whatever, but just say to yourself, 100% I'm open to it, or 100% I am not open to it. Just get to that point. You don't need to like say, okay, I'm going to take it. But I would say within the next like 1 hour, even honestly like 20 minutes, just ask yourself, with absolute certainty, are you open to it? Which, in the end, you could decide against it, or you could wait, whatever. But are you kind of open to it? Or the bigger thing is, just ask yourself, is there a 0% impossible, I will absolutely not do it? because there's no right or wrong answer. But once you've identified that there's a chance that you're probably open to taking it, then at least your brain will kind of relax a little bit. And if you say, no, there's no chance, I'm just not interested at all, never, I will take it, I don't need to think about it, then also that's quite beneficial. But being in the middle thing, like, oh, I might, but also no, I don't think it's good for me, and you switch around, and that's what causes a lot of like mental headache. So if you feel like, yeah, there's a chance I'm going to be open to it, then at least your brain will kind of like look out for research and whatever over the next few years. You'll end up having the conversations with people and naturally whatever. So that's just the point, is go and journal for like 20 minutes right now. You could pause this module and just ask yourself what your values are. Is there a chance that you may take it? Are you open to it? What is your values to do with it? Why do you want to take it? Why, you know some of the arguments that people have for and against, which ones mean the most to you? Those kinds of things, just write them down, and you just have to do this once to just figure out what you believe in this situation. Then number 2, go through your wardrobe and throw out the plastic clothing, particularly the pants and also the underwear. Like 100% go and do this right now. Go check through your wardrobe, look through your underwear first, like, you've got like the boxer shorts, look through them and just check the little plastic label thing that's over here, that tells you what material it is, and see if it says anything poly, nylon, bullshit, whatever, it's estrogenic, throw it the fuck out, never wear it again. Especially underwear is like absolutely non-negotiable. And then also consider doing this with your other clothing. So for example, anything that touches your bare skin, like pants or shirts, I would throw them out particularly. Shorts, like I said in the previous module or into this one, shorts that you're gonna wear over cotton boxer pant, like, boxers, like cotton underpants, that's okay. Like I personally do that. I wear like polyester gym shorts, like, Muay Thai martial arts shorts, but I always wear cotton underwear underneath, so that's okay. But I never wear like plastic polyester bullshit shirts or anything like that. So go through all of them away. Number 3, throw away cologne. Cologne, deodorants, a lot of it's going to be decreasing your test. So with this, again, it's like part of your values. If you're happy to take a little bit of a hit, and potentially a bigger hit actually than we realize, like that one researcher, Dr. Anthony J, he said that this is actually the worst one, which is interesting because it's not one that you'd actually think about so much. But he said for guys who are kind of like locked in, this would be the one that like many of us are actually suffering from the most, which is the estrogenic chemicals that are in cologne and deodorants. Throw away the bullshit ones that you've potentially got right now. Obviously, you don't have to do this. If it's expensive and you don't want to get rid of it, then I understand, because I've got some expensive cologne as well. And like I said in the previous modules, I spray it still, but never really on bare skin, more like directly on clothing. And I still get girls who say like, oh, you smell really good, whatever. But I try not to do it on direct clothing for the sort of cologne aftershave. For deodorant, go and get some natural deodorant. Just go search it on like Amazon, on Google, whatever, and you can get some delivered to your place. And just consider just throwing this away, because it's a pretty bad thing. Apparently it's actually one of the worst sources of estrogenic shit that's lowering your testosterone. I'm wary of this, and I'm not even natural, right? I take testosterone, so the amount of testosterone I take, like when you take testosterone, it doesn't go down from this stuff because, you've put the chemical in your body. So I still am wary of these things, you know what I mean? So because it's just not good for your health. It's like modern day weird kind of chemicals and whatever. It's bad for testosterone, but also other things. So it's interesting that I take testosterone, which means that my testosterone can't go down from stuff like this because it's just a chemical that you inject, and whatever's happening, like, it doesn't matter. You've got the chemicals inside of you. But so just bear that in mind. Like, I'm still a little bit worried about these things because they can just be terrible for health and whatever. And then the final one-time thing that you can do is just go install a reverse osmosis water filter, or at the very least get a way to have safe drinking water, which many of us actually don't have. If you've not done something into your home, you don't have safe drinking water. You've got chemical polluted water. Go onto Amazon, search for reverse osmosis water filter. You can find some for like $200, $300, $400. Get it delivered, get your dad, or like go get some fucking person to like put it into your sink in the kitchen where you get your water from, and you just have to do this once. I know it's like expensive and whatever, but you just do this once and then you never have to really think about it again. So yeah, just go do those one-time checklist things as soon as possible, because it's a huge domino, like it's a huge piece of leverage. If, for example, you just go and do this one, like today, for example, you just think, fuck it, I'm just going to go order one. I'm not going to overthink it because, it's a pretty pricey purchase, and it'd be easy for you to kind of overthink it and feel like shit. You're like, you know what, fuck it. I've got a few $100s in my bank account. I really care about testosterone. I care about my health. You go onto Amazon. The first one's like pretty highly rated, 4.8 stars with like 4,000 people. It's like 280 whatever dollars. You're like, fuck it, I'm just going to get this one. I don't even want to spend fucking 1 hour comparing this one to this one to this, you know, like, cause that's just a headache, right? And the truth is you won't feel the difference from this one to this fucking X1, 7, fucking whatever the fuck. Just go get the first one that looks good. Just don't overthink it. Don't waste your time with like all the extra sort of headache. If you can afford it, just go get one. Cause if you do that, it could be set up in your home in like, what, 2 days from now. And every glass of water that you drink after this is now not decreasing your testosterone, which basically means whatever testosterone you're sitting at right now should actually start to rise up just automatically because of the fact that you're no longer drinking the chemicals anymore, which forever, like, you know, as long as you stay at home, right? Which is like fucking huge. So it's a big thing to just do some of these things right now. Then let's go over the daily checklist. You could like screenshot this or write it down or something. And these are things that you want to be doing every day as part of your routine. And I've put them generally in order that you might want to do them as well. So morning sunlight, as we said, sunlight is really good for testosterone. And it's an absolute like conspiracy theory, psyop, weird modern day bullshit that like sunlight's bad for you and you should avoid direct contact with the sun and everything. That's what people have believed for the last like 100 years because of these bullshit scientists. And of course, it turns out the bullshit scientists were fucking bullshit and sunlight's actually really healthy for us. Who would have known? Seeing as every fucking animal and every fucking human in history has always basically spent 90% of their time in direct sunlight. So the moment you wake up, try and get some sunlight basically right away. You don't need to get like autistic with this. For me personally, I wake up, I still do my sort of like normal meditation, brushing my teeth, cold shower first thing in the morning. And then I just usually end up driving somewhere and I go to the gym and, you know, I'm driving with a motorbike. So I'm getting sunlight there and it's getting into your eyes, into your skin, whatever. When we're talking about sunlight, by the way, what you want is basically maximum sunlight, just absorption everywhere. So it's very important that it's not for it doesn't have to go through a glass, basically. So for example, if you're sat at home, like in your house right now, and in your bedroom over here, for example, you have like a window here, you know, like a window. If the sun is shining this way and you're inside and you know that you're getting sort of sunlight on you, this doesn't actually count because windows, again, weird conspiracy theory, but windows have been made with a kind of glass which actually stops the health benefit of sunlight. The same with the car windows and everything as well. So basically it has to touch your skin with nothing else in the way. And also you want the most absorption, so basically the most amount of skin possible. So basically like the caveman version of you would just be like fully naked directly outside in the sunlight. Right? This is the most like alpha version of you. Then the most beta version of you is the one indoors with the fucking blinds closed and whatever. This is like the new age version of you with a basically non-existent cock. So the more sort of alpha testosterone that you want to be, the more naked you should be in the sunlight. Of course, you know, don't get fucking arrested for this. Don't go just outside naked next to the school or something. But you get my point, right? So if possible, be naked, or if possible, like don't have many clothes on. At least take your shirt off and just let it hit you directly. Many of us have got like back gardens or those kinds of things. So let it hit as much of your open skin as possible. And you specifically need to be outside. It can't be that, you know, it's through your windows in your car or your home or whatever, because windows, the material in modern day glass stops the health benefit, which is, again, it's like a psyoping, weird modern day sort of invention. So go and do this. And I'd say with this, honestly, I won't even tell you a protocol like, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, because I find that that's bullshit. In the morning, you're busy. Just get some and check the box, done. If you do 2 minutes quickly, if you do 20 minutes, okay, sweet, both is good. Just get some direct sunlight. Some days you'll be so busy that you'll want to miss it. So that's why I'm saying, like, even if you get like fucking 20 seconds, it's better than nothing. Just go like outside, breathe, you know, look out from your window. Like you open your window fully, stick your head out. That's what I used to do back in my my family home, because I didn't want to like leave my home, you know, like first thing in the morning. So I would just basically, I was in my house, you know, there's the window, and I would kind of like open the window fully and sort of stick my head out a little bit and, you know, shirtless. And I was getting some direct sort of sunlight to like this whole part of my body, which I thought was like, yeah, fine. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it's something. It's more than I was doing before. And I just like go with that. And now it's a bit different for me because I live in Bali. It's nice to go out at like 6 a.m. So now I'll like fully go outside and I'm shirtless driving around for like 10 minutes, whatever. Don't put your phone in your pocket. It's kind of like a one-time thing to get into the habit of it, but you basically have to like, remember to do this every day for a little while. Do not put your phone in your pocket. Just be the guy who's always just holding it. I don't have it here with me, but it's like I just hold it in my hand whenever I'm going somewhere. It's just simple. Like you get into the habit of it. It's easy. It's like when you think about it, everyone's a fucking NPC, right? Everyone's addicted to their phones. So most people have their phone in their hand because they're actually using it, texting, whatever, when they're walking. So if you're holding your phone in your hand, it's not actually that crazy because most people actually have their phone in their hand because most people are like, texting and walking or changing the song or, they're scrolling whilst they're walking around. It's not crazy for you to have your phone in your hand. Basically, every fucking normie does that. So you don't actually have to feel weird about this because no one will actually say to you like, oh, why are you holding your phone? Because everyone holds their phone, like some people still put it in their pockets, but they'll like just have it out so much that basically they're just holding it. So for you, just hold it. Right? It's not a big deal. If you saw like a girl like walking and she's texting at the same time, that's not a big deal. Obviously, she should just be careful that she doesn't bump into some shit or walk into the road. But it's not a big deal to be using your phone whilst you walk, whilst you're walking around, you're at school, you're at the gym, whatever. So then just do the same thing for yourself. But obviously, you're doing it for health reasons. Don't put your phone in your pocket and just remember to do this for the next few days. And then it's just a habit after that. I put my phone in my pocket probably like less than 10 times per year, like for a total of like couple minutes maximum per year, and I always put it on airplane mode. It's like, when I've got something, it's like dangerous for me to hold it. I've got a few things to carry. Very rarely I'll do it, but even when I can put it in my pocket, I still often don't. And obviously when I do put it in my pocket, I still put it on airplane mode and stuff, but I still prefer not to just put it in my pocket anymore. It just kind of creeps me out to like do that. It just seems so wrong now. 10 eggs every day. I quite like having like 2 eggs, 3 eggs in a meal, but more than like 3, it's not sort of enjoyable. So I try to split these up, or I just go discipline mode and have like 5 or 6 or 8 or even up to 10 in one meal. But then I kind of start hating my life. So for me personally, I'd suggest kind of splitting this up into like 2 or 3 eggs 5 times a day. Just, like quickly when you wake up, make 2, you eat it within like 20 seconds. It's easy. Then before you go to the gym, you make another 2, like that. Like I would probably prefer doing that, but I know many of us will just fucking down the 10 in one meal easy. And this is really going to help with testosterone, with cholesterol. Like we said, eggs are actually the number one food you can possibly eat. So basically, this is what I'd conclude with sort of all of nutrition, in terms of, okay, your diet. Basically, if you're eating eggs, you are getting the highest level of nutrition. And anything that you're eating other than eggs, you're basically sacrificing some kind of health. And you're not sacrificing a lot if it's, for example, if it's steak, if it's milk, like these sort of based men food, caveman food. Okay, like this is still pretty good. And it's all the way down when you're eating things like fucking rice, pasta, just the empty fucking calories. There's no benefit to you here, fucking oat milk, whatever the fuck. If all of these things are doing nothing for your sort of like manliness and like primal feeling, testosterone, it's doing nothing. Just like this is the shit you're actually really, really going to feel, and eggs are the king. So I would say just try and maximize the number of eggs you're eating. 10 is really great. Still carbs, like I said before, I actually still think carbs are a good thing. If you're training as much as many of us are, if you're just going to the gym like 2 times a week, you're a bitch. Okay, fair enough. But if you're going to the gym basically every day, and if you happen to be someone who's doing a bunch of cardio as well, martial arts, then it makes sense to also have carbs as well. And so add some carbs in. One thing I actually forgot to add was milk. Milk is actually based as fuck. It's also a little bit sort of love and hate, because milk can actually be kind of estrogenic. It can raise your estrogen, which is what you don't want, but it can also raise tests, and it's quite anabolic. And it's healthy cholesterol. It's part of the same sort of food group as basically eggs, red meat, those kinds of things that you see like the modern day like alpha male chads are eating. Milk is another one. Raw milk particularly is what I have personally. Just makes sense to me. Like it's a pretty natural sort of food source rather than fucking Pop-Tarts or some shit. And it's just like nice to drink cold, easy. Then the sunlight again at midday, specifically for brown and black guys. So white guys, probably you want to avoid this unless you live in like a pretty pretty cold country. But for brown and black guys, we naturally need more sunlight. So I would actually say go out at about midday, like 12 to about 2 or something, and get some like full body sunlight extra, because this is the hottest, most direct, like the most strong sunlight of the day. And for brown and black guys, when you've got darker skin, you need way more sunlight than usual. And since most of us are basically still inside for like 90 something % of the day, this is quite important for us guys who have got darker skin. If you happen to be white skin or like yellow, whatever the fuck, like probably avoid this one. If you ever get sunburnt, avoid this one. But if you're like me, you've never been sunburnt in your life, you probably need this one. Like I've never had a sunburn in my entire life, and I spend hours outside in like Southeast Asia and stuff. So I'm someone who naturally has like such a high tolerance for sunlight. And like I told you before in one of these ones, I got my vitamin D levels tested and they were still actually kind of low, even though I was outside for like an hour in direct sunlight and also supplementing vitamin D. So I can be outside for genuinely more like 4 hours rather than like a quick 20-minute tanning session like white girls need, okay? So for white guys, do the morning sunlight and probably skip this one, particularly if you've happened to like move to a hotter country, because you're not supposed to, you're not natural here. For brown black guys, we need way more. So this is based on your skin color, but also the country that you're currently in. Because, for example, if you're white, if you were born in UK, but then you moved to fucking Dubai, then the amount of sunlight you should get is way less because you're not naturally from the UAE, from the desert. So your sort of like tolerance is going to be way shitter. Like when I went to Dubai with my ex-girlfriend, she was just like burnt and red and all fucked up within like a little while. You know what I mean? So just watch out for that. And whereas I've always been fine, I've never once like sort of gotten burnt or anything like that. Next one, flirt with a girl. This is a pretty obvious one, so I didn't put it in the sort of weird ways to increase testosterone, whatever. But flirting with girls increases your test. There was a famous study that if you get men to just speak to a girl that they're attracted to for 5 minutes, you see a significant increase in testosterone, which just makes sense. And all of us have kind of felt this thing, particularly if you flirt with this girl for a few minutes. I would even say this goes as far as you just looking handsome, going through your life and then seeing that girls are looking at you. And I would even say this probably gives you a testosterone boost as well. So if you like looks maxing in a weird way can increase your testosterone if you do it the right way. Just go flirt with a girl every single day of your life, really. It adds a lot of fun to your life. Then again, evening sunlight, this is another particularly important one. There's science to say that if you get sunlight at nighttime, that it's actually going to boost your sleep because, your eyes have seen the sort of the wavelength of the light, and so they know that it's time for bed, whatever. For me personally, it's never made an impact on my sleep. Like I never really see my sleep improve from doing this one or the morning sunlight. Like a lot of scientists, Dr. Andrew Huberman, he says it all the time that these will improve your sleep. It makes no difference for me in my sleep. But for testosterone, again, it just completely makes sense to just get as much sunlight as possible and get into the habit of maybe doing like a few minutes here, maybe a bit of a longer one here, maybe some here if you're white, or maybe even 40 minutes or 60 minutes, whatever, if you're a brown guy. Then sauna as well. Sauna increases testosterone because it makes you sweat, and when you sweat, your body basically detoxes the microplastics and the estrogenic weird chemicals that are inside of us. So a few of the researchers who have really focused on like microplastics have said that sweating is the best way to get rid of them, and microplastics decrease testosterone. So if you can get rid of them, this would be like a good way to sort of keep your testosterone levels high. So sauna every day, or some kind of way that you can sweat. If you don't have access to a sauna, I actually would say to you, like, try and figure it out if you can go to a sauna. Like, for example, there's probably a gym near you that has it, or there's some kind of health club near you that has one. Just pay the fucking, the monthly membership to go use one. Or if you're like really going to be living at home, with your parents for another few years because you're young or something, or you have no intention to move or anything, getting a sauna made at your place is like, it's not crazy expensive. For the first world person, it's like $1K, $2K or something to get like a small sauna built in like your back garden, like a decent one as well. And it's worth it for your health, for your family. People who sauna always live longer. You have way less chances of heart disease. It's like the ROI is fucking huge. And sauna it's the reason why is because when you get really warm, it's basically the same as like doing cardio, because your body temperatures went up and your heart rates went up. And that's what happens in cardio. So it's not the same as cardio. And, there's a few different sort of changes. Breathing's a bit different. Conditioning for your physical sort of joints is different. But people who sauna, basically it acts very much like doing cardio for your health, which is fucking awesome. But the benefit of sauna is that it's basically like easy. Like you just sitting there on your phone and you talk to, your family or whatever. It's fucking overpowered, right? So if you can sauna almost like every day for the rest of your life should be like one of your goals. Like from now on, I henceforth like encourage you to try to have like sauna as part of your normal daily routine, like you're just like the Finnish and the Russians and whatever. It's just a part of your like daily routine. If you miss it, it's not so crazy, sure. But it's like basically no matter what you're doing, what stage of life you're in, where you're moving to, where you live, whatever, even if you're traveling, you look to go to a sauna every day, the same way that, for example, many of us would look to go to the gym every day. Make sauna the same thing. The same as like brushing your teeth, whatever. Sweating and having this sort of increased body temperature and heart rate is just so essential. Right now, when we're young, you don't feel it so much. But the number one cause of death for most people in life is like basically they've got a bullshit heart because of bad habits. Cardiovascular disease is like almost number one cause of death in the world. And obviously you don't just like drop dead instantly. You feel like shit for 10, 20 years. Your capacity to move and whatever just deteriorates. And sauna just gives you free fucking cardio. Like, again, it's not exactly the same. There's a few obviously like different mechanics and stuff, but it's fucking awesome. So just find a way right now. You could pause this and like, use your fucking brain, make it work. Go and find a way that you can go to the sauna every day. Go look for a place that's got one. Maybe go into Google Maps and search sauna and see if you can, it'll show you on like Google Maps. Oh, there's a gym 2 minutes away from your place that's got one. And you're like, yeah, fuck it. I already like my gym, so I don't really want to switch over. But this gym membership's like $20 a month. $20 a month to get the benefits of sauna is easily worth it. Even if you don't use the gym for anything else, you literally just go for the sauna. That's easily still worth it, honestly. Like the health benefits fucking huge. If there's no gym next to you that's got it, okay, then maybe it's going to be hard for you. Consider something else. And if there's absolutely no chance for you to go to a sauna, there's none in the gyms close to you. There's no way that you'd be able to get it made because, you live in like an apartment, so you can't get it made in your place. Like if you have a home, like a big home, you can build one outside. Then at that point, just take how the sauna works and recreate it. So the sauna works to increase your testosterone by really heating you up, making you sweat a lot. And when you sweat, you excrete things like microplastics, which decrease testosterone. So it's not so much the sauna that's so like sort of, good. It's just that it makes you sweat a lot, basically. And so if you don't have a sauna, you got to go with the sort of free method. Just sweat a lot every day. That's what I would change this one is. Have like a daily sweat session. Have some kind of thing that makes you sweaty as fuck. So for example, if you don't want to add any new workouts and you just want to do normal weightlifting like most of us are doing, I would then go and make my weightlifting sessions like way more fast-paced supersets where, for example, I would hit an exercise and then go and do the next exercise like immediately afterwards, and then the next one and the next one. And then it becomes almost like a cardio workout, but of course like your lifting kind of takes a hit there. Or just do a 20-minute some kind of like cardio blast. Whatever makes you sweaty as fuck, realistically, whatever you can stick to. So it might even be as simple as like just going on the cardio machines in the gym. Just sweating as much as you possibly can. Wear some extra clothes. That kind of stuff really does make a difference, even though it seems so autistic. But like wear a hoodie and stuff when you're doing it and you'll sweat more because, your body temperature's higher. Sauna's easier. And when you've got the money, if you can have a sauna in your home, it's just fucking so nice. Like I quite literally go in my sauna every single day, sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day, literally. Like, and this villa I'm living in has got one. When I first, moved to this kind of villa, I've been here for about a year, in Bali. I've been in Bali for like 2 years, but this villa for about a year. The first of these villas, because there's a bunch, like 5 or 8 or whatever in one plot of land. And I moved to one which was slightly cheaper. It didn't have the sauna and it was slightly smaller. Just because I wanted to like save money, it was already pretty expensive. And then when I really looked at the price, so they actually messaged me and they said they've got this one available and it's $500 more. And I was thinking, wait, $500 more? This is what I was trying to save. Like, why were you being such a Jew? And so I went to view this one. First of all, it's like bigger as well. So it was just nice to like walk in and be like, oh shit, it's way bigger. It's really nice. But then $500 more is fucking nothing. So it was such a nice upgrade. I guess $500 a month to have a sauna is pretty expensive, but it's also like a bigger villa. So that made sense, right? Just to have the sauna, honestly, is probably worth it anyway. So I upgraded it, right? And I remember my sister was asking me, like, wait, are you sure it's worth it? Because, the villa's already expensive. Like, why make it more expensive? Are you actually going to use the sauna? And I thought, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I will, because I use the sauna quite often at my gym. So I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I will. And I use it every single day. Like, it's such a no-brainer. When you have a sauna and you're like us, you care about testosterone and health and whatever, it's like such a no-brainer So eventually, if you can get one in your own place, this is like, something for you to set as like your goal in your vision board or something. You want the kind of house where you've got your own nice sauna in there. And it's like, it's nice, man. Even if you forget a lot of this sort of testosterone thing, it's like, it's just something that you do as a social activity. I'll go in the sauna with my girl most nights. I'll message a few of my friends and they'll come round and we'll just sauna together. And, we're stood up talking to each other inside and whatever. It's just shit like that, which is like, it's another social kind of thing that people like us can do, because people like us, we say no to a lot of like social things, which are, late at night with alcohol, with drugs, whatever, because we don't want to like, sort of be not disciplined. And something like this, like mixing your social life with fitness, has always been good. And sauna just gives you another reason to like meet people and to gather around. A lot of families in like Finland and whatever do this, where they'll like all sauna together and it's like a social thing. The entire family will go and whatever. Like that's just so beautiful, man. When you're mixing your social life with something healthy, So that's just a bit of motivation. I'd really recommend get to the point where you can have a sauna in your home, because it's really nice. And you don't even need it. If you go and you just like go to the gym, which has got one, like that's what I've been doing for the last few years. And I just go for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes most days when I was at the gym. And that would just became my routine. Like I'd wake up, do my work, go and lift at the gym, and then straight afterwards go to the sauna upstairs. That's what I always did. If you're thinking of coming to Bali, many of the gyms here have saunas, so you'll be good there. Like I said in one of the first modules of this course, breathing fully I believe, will increase your testosterone, not directly, but indirectly, by reducing stress, decreasing your resting heart rate, increasing your recovery. So what I've been doing in terms of my sort of like daily routine is I have a checklist that I follow every day, like a Google Calendar thing, right? I also use like a note page. And I've got, random stuff. Okay, record this video, go lift this weight. I've got lunch with this person, whatever. And, you've got like 10, 20 checklist boxes. And in a few of them, I'll write down like sort of deep breath, sleepy. I call it for some reason like sleepy Chad breaths, because that's the energy I really like, where I just kind of like close my eyes a little bit and I'm like this, like. There was like one day when I was with my girl and I was like, I was tired, but in like a good way. And so she was like, oh, you look so like, you look so handsome. Like you look like you're so happy. And we were just sat outside, like drinking tea, and just sat in my back garden. And I was just like this, like, and I was just breathing fully, and I felt so good. And that was the night where I checked my health tracker afterwards, and my resting heart rate was 45. My average is already kind of low for young guys, it's 51. 45 on that day, I really think was because I did a bunch of these breaths. And whenever I remember to do a bunch of these breaths, like, these full deep breaths, really feel the stomach expand. Not like a formal 5-minute meditation session, but more like just trying to remember to do it throughout the day. I always see my resting heart rate in the 40s, like 48, 49, whatever. And whenever I don't really think about this, it's usually more in the 50s. So when your resting heart rate is better, your HRV is higher, then I would argue that your testosterone would do better, you sleep better and everything. So try and set a reminder for this one, because this is actually one of the bigger ones, even though it's so sort of intangible. This is like you either ate eggs or you didn't. With breathing fully, it's like, it's not like, 10 eggs a day, which is so clear what the goal is. But if you can set a reminder and get into the habit of just breathing fully, I really think it'll make a difference. So for me personally, I have a few sort of moments in the day when I remind myself to breathe. When I go downstairs and I'm filling up my water bottle, that's one of them. When I'm brushing my teeth, that's another. And one of the things I notice all the time is as the first breath that I do, it's like I just become conscious of just how little I was breathing before then. Like most of the day you're just thinking about whatever. Then the sort of thought of like, oh yeah, breathe fully comes in, and then I'll take a full breath. And it's like within a second, I realized like, oh shit, you just weren't breathing much like at all. Like you were breathing like a bitch for the last like hour without even just thinking about it. And so the first breath I take, it's like, it almost like opens my stomach and takes rid of this like this tight feeling that I had in there. So if you can relate to this, maybe if you've had a moment like this, if you go brush your teeth, for example, tomorrow morning or tonight, and then just trying to remember this, you might physically feel like you had this tension for some reason. A lot of us are just like squeezing our bodies because of like stress. And, a lot of us, we live hard lives, right? We're trying to like fucking help our families. We've got shit happening. We had a hard time in school and stuff. We do live hard lives. Your body's like this. And the first time you manually breathe, it goes. And then you think, holy shit, my body was like this, and you're open for a few seconds. It's all good. Within 20 seconds, you've lost focus, and you start going like this again. So it's really valuable to breathe fully. Another thing I would actually say is basically anything which you notice is making you sort of tight and having this kind of tension in your stomach. Try and get rid of it for your testosterone, for your stress, whatever. So I find anything like on a screen, which is quite stimulating, like social media shit, I find that fucks me. So there's been a few times over the last few months where I downloaded Instagram, right? And I noticed that I'm just doing this for some reason. Like I'm actually quite like tense, I'm like having a shit, and I ended up downloading it, and I'm like kind of just squeezing my arm here, and I'm like, that's so interesting, and I'm like, why did your body naturally just like my other arm will just be like this, and I'm just like, why? And I open it and I breathe and I just close off the app, and I'm like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. Some movies you watch, some conversations, you'll find yourself just like squeezing because you're uncomfortable, because you're adding tension, and so just be aware of this. Particularly anything on a screen really does this. Or like social media shit, even YouTube videos, those kinds of things really do it, right? So just be careful of this. And this is what I mean. Like, if you feel like you're someone who's like chronically sort of tense, as I am, like you're like a traumatized motherfucker, you came from like a pretty tough childhood, and you're pretty fucked up compared to most people, you'll probably be particularly prone for this, and you'll get sort of randomly tight. If, for example, your algorithms are serving you like crazy shit that's happening in the world and conspiracy theories, and then he said this thing, and this guy said this, and this, and this, and this, you will find yourself just like squeezing, and you're basically not breathing properly. You're holding so much tension that your body isn't actually even like passing nutrients properly. So breathing fully and relieving this tension is surprisingly one of the most powerful things on this list, really, even though it seems like it won't do much. Because if you try to meditate in the sort of high performer kind of way, where, you set on like a 5-minute timer, you just breathe, it won't do that much for what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about is not like sort of a productive meditation session that you do every morning to feel, productive and disciplined. I'm talking about just being so aware throughout the day, not like a formal session, but just throughout the day. Try and check in with yourself and ask yourself, like, are you holding tension? Are you squeezing your hands right now? Are you clenching your jaw a lot? Are you just sucking in your stomach instead of letting it hang, like tribesmen wouldn't give a shit about like the aesthetic of their belly. Those kinds of things make a big difference. Like if you're spending all day barely breathing, you can best believe that you're going to be in like automatic, like beta male body language and beta male kind of thought, and naturally that's going to decrease your testosterone as well. So try your best, like just breathe fully with some force into your stomach and get rid of any of these things that are like chronically making you tense. Then we went over the supplements list. I already told you what they were before. We had like, we had like Tonka Ali, zinc, vitamin D, the cerealium, whatever. So a few of these you can try taking as well. But like I said, these will make a 5% difference compared to actually taking testosterone. So that's way bigger. And then the sleep maxing protocol. Sleep is obviously very important for testosterone. I made a protocol for improving sleep. It's actually another course inside of Library of Adonis, so you could just go find that course and then go through the protocol to try and get the best sleep of your life, which of course is going to boost your testosterone. But that's it. This is all of my testosterone research condensed down into like a couple of hours. I've sifted through so much bullshit, particularly when it came with injecting testosterone, that everyone's got their own opinion about shit and it's all fucking bullshit, whatever, or people state the facts, but it's not really a fact and stuff. And I've researched this for about 10 years. So I'm glad to like put it all together in like a couple of hours of like impactful knowledge that you need to just improve your levels naturally, and also to consider becoming unnatural and enhanced like I did, which I've got no regrets for like whatsoever. So yeah, I hope this really helps you. Like I said at the start, the first module, like testosterone is like really important, and it really will set you apart and put you into the category of like the alpha male who girls just want to get impregnated by, rather than like the good boy that girls just want to text but not actually meet. So That's one thing, never mind also what it'll do to your work rate, your competitiveness, your injury recovery, all those things. It's a very wonderful thing to optimize. So good on you for being here, because this is not a sort of, it's we're not looking at videos of girls like twerking or some shit, you know what I mean? So good on you for being here and educating yourself and making like a positive improvement in your life and in your health. So I'm proud of you, and thank you for being inside of Library of Adonis and for supporting me. Bye bye.